Have you ever been told that you can't change the way that you look? Because I used to believe that too. I thought genetics were everything. But after my 5-month transformation after puberty, I realized that we can actually change our face. And I'm not talking about surgery, peptides, or any of that. All I did was just doing some facial exercises and fixed my habits, which completely transformed my looks. So in this video, I will walk you through step by step exactly what exercises and habits that I fixed in order to get the best transformation of my life. So you can transform as well, so you will finally start attracting more girls. And if you want me to personally help you on one-to-one coaching, I actually have a program where I teach you all the exercises and habits for your specific looks. So you will save so much time. If you're interested in this, then go have a look at the top link of the description. All the details are there. Alright, so now that you understand that part, let's go into step number 1, which is bad habits ruined your looks, not your genetics. So we all have bad habits that we do, but I specifically figured out that there's 3 habits that I did that completely destroyed my looks. And the following bad habits were sleeping on one side of the pillow only, chewing more on one of the sides of my jaw, and the third one, which was bad posture. So let me tell you how chewing ruins our looks. So basically, when we chew, we often chew on one of our sides more than the other one because we simply have a stronger masseter muscle. That's the muscles which is called the ones that you use to chew the food with. And when one of those masseter muscles is stronger than the other ones, you will actually start chewing more on that side before you even know it. And over enough time when you do this, obviously the muscle will become bigger, and then it will look like you have a bigger side on one of the sides of your face, which will make you look more asymmetrical. For some people, that jawline literally goes more to one of the sides, which will kind of make you, more asymmetrical. So the thing is, how do we fix this? Well, it's actually very simple. So the action step that I want you to do, if you have this bad habit that you're chewing on one of the more sides, basically just you have an asymmetrical part of your jawline, then what you just want to do is not to chew gum, because a lot of people think that you just need to chew gum then. But the problem with chewing gum is that when you chew gum, you don't have it in each side of your jaw. You only have it for one side at a time, which means that you put more pressure probably on your stronger masseter muscles. So you will just get even more asymmetrical now. So the action step that you need to do is that when you're chewing food, you just need to chew it for longer. And you just need to think about chewing on both sides at the same time instead of chewing on only one of the sides. So it will look like this instead of like this. You can clearly see the difference, how it will train one of our sides more than the others. And then a very specific note is that we want to make this muscle stronger, which means that we need more resistance. And most people actually only chew on their food like 5 to 6 times before they swallow. Basically, it doesn't become into this liquid state where it's just fluid. So you need to chew on your food between 20 to 30 times before you sink. First of all, it will train your masseter muscles. So you will feel a big burn around here, which will develop the muscles. But you will also actually eat in a more healthier way for your stomach to digest the food. And then a key note is that, of course, if we have one of the sides which is more stronger than the others, you will just, after you have been chewing for like 10 times, you will just switch to your weaker side, and then you will only chew on that side until you can kind of begin to see that the muscle follows the other one. And then another tip, I know there's a lot of tips, but it's also to chew harder food, because often if we just eat like soft bread or just some soft meat like fish, you won't really get that much of a burn. So try to eat more steaks or more hard bread, just harder food in general. Already now you can see how our bad habits actually can lead to us looking worse. And that is exactly why that if you have some insecurities about your face that I'm not going to mention in this video, then I will highly recommend you to go down and join my program, because then we could go on one-to-one calls where I can just quickly tell you what habits that you have been doing wrong and what is like wrong with your face, so you don't look as good as you could have looked like. So if you're interested in this and working together with me, then again, it's in the top link of the description. All the details are there. So now that you understand that, let's go to the second bad habit, which is bad posture. Especially for a lot of people, it's two postures. So first of all, you have something called an anterior pelvic tilt. So this is basically just where your hips goes to one of the sides. You can clearly see it on this picture that I have, how my hips is actually going a bit to the side. And you can easily imagine when this happens and you walk like this through all day, your back will start to also get like asymmetrical, and then of course my neck posture will also start to become asymmetrical, which will go onto my muscles tissues in my face, which will also then make me more asymmetrical. So you can see that it's small things that actually adds up to your bad looking face. But the positive thing is that we can fix this. We simply just need to figure out what problem that we have with our posture, and then we just need to fix it. So for the most popular one that I see is the neck posture, because we have all, like basically all men have been like gamers when we were young, and we have sit a lot on our computers and our telephones, which means that our head have actually tilted more forward like this. So we actually don't have a straightened up neck. So the action step that I want you to do is that we want to do something called chin tucks. Doing chin tucks will actually fix like your neck, but it will also train one important bone, which I basically just call a muscle, so it's easier to understand, which is called our hyoid bone. And basically our hyoid bone is some bone that we can train to actually tighten up our skin that we have under here. So basically a lot of people have forward neck posture, but this forward neck posture also leads us to have bad tongue posture, which leads us to our hyoid bone not being in alignment with all these different muscles, which will actually make our jawline look so worse. So basically you will often get caught in 4K with side profile pictures because you haven't been developing this bone. So basically how we do this chin tuck is that you just want to stand up against a wall where you think about your head, shoulders and your back and ass touch the wall straight, so you're not being unequal. So you are straight up. And then what you want to think about is that you just want to think about making as many double chins as possible while bringing your chin into your neck. So backwards like this, and not forwards like this. You don't want to do inwards and then go outwards like this. What you want to do is actually that you want to go upwards. Just like if you were trying to look up to the skies, you would try to look up, because then you can already feel a burn. You can literally do this with me right now. Try to just look up, and then you can already feel that you're getting a stretch in your throat area here. Then what you just want to do is just go into a chin tuck position like this. Up, of course, up against the wall. When you become good enough at this, you can put more pressure on by taking your hands together like you were praying. Then have your thumbs like this. Put it under your jaw, like your chin here, and then you just want to do the same. But you just apply the pressure upwards with your thumbs so you get more resistance. So now that we have been through the two most common mistakes, the last one is sleeping on one side of your pillow only. The reason why this is so bad for you is because it will make you asymmetrical in your face. And the reason for this is because when we lie on one side of our face throughout the whole entire night, we will actually put more pressure on one of the sides of our face, obviously, right? Because we are laying like this. But the important note is actually that all our liquid that we have in our face, like all the water and blood that we hold, will get onto the other side, because the natural law of gravity will just pull all the water to one of the sides, which of course, that if you get more pressure on one of the sides, you will start to get asymmetrical. For some people, it has actually gotten so bad that one of their eyes actually is more raised than the other ones. And of course, when that happens, all the other muscles and bones in your face will also get asymmetrical. But the good thing is that we can change this. First of all, we can do an exercise to change it. But I also want you to first understand that if you do the exercises, but still do the habit, you will just lose all your gains. So first of all, you want to sleep on your back from now on. Think about trying to do that as much as possible. And then the exercise that we want to do to fix if, for example, our eyes is higher than the other one, is actually an exercise that we can do to pull up our eyes or down if that's what we want to do. So basically what you want to do is that you want to take your fingers together and then you want to pull it by the end of your eyebrow and then pull to the side as much as possible and then a bit upwards. And then you want to think about squeezing your eyes, like squinting as hard as possible, like you were going to make an angry face, like this. Doing this will train something called your orbicularis oculi muscle. It's basically just your eye muscle that you have around your eye area here. So when this is trained, you can literally pull the end of your eyebrow and your eye upwards or downwards if that's what you want to do. So don't worry if you have an asymmetrical face, we can absolutely fix it. And not just will it fix asymmetrical parts, but it will also give you what's called the hunter eyes, because it will make you have less upper eyelid exposure, a positive candle tilt with your eyes, and your eyebrows will also have a positive tilt if you do these exercises. And that is literally just the key for my transformation in 5 months. And that is exactly why that if you feel like this video has been valuable, imagine how much we could do one-to-one. I literally go on frequent calls, like once a week inside of my program. Furthermore, there are courses that I have inside of there where I teach you exactly how to get an aesthetic face, all the muscles that we can train to get this kind of transformation. And then also how to build an aesthetic body, because that is also so important if you want to become the most attractive version of ourselves. It's one of the first things that we see when we see a person. It's their body, how fit they are, but also our face, of course. And that is why all of these things is inside of my program. So if you're interested in that, then go have a look at the top link of the description. All the details are there. And now that we are at the end of this video, I really want to say a thank you for watching this far. Think about how much valuable things that you have been doing for your education. You could have scrolled on TikTok. You could have watched some other Mr. Beast content YouTube just for some high dopamine. But you chose to educate yourself, and I'm so proud of you for that. And that is exactly why that I know that this channel will be exactly the thing for you. So if you want to learn more about the things that I have to teach so you can transform your looks, then I will highly recommend you to go down and click subscribe so you can learn all the things that I have to share with you. And if you want to keep on learning, then go watch this video over here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!